We're here with Bryan Chavis from bryanchavis.com, best-selling author of Buy It, Rent It, Profit, and The Landlord Entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. And we're just going to, I wanted to ask you just one little question. This is actually a landlord sent this in. She has a rental property, and I figured we could help her out and help all the people out there that have questions. Sometimes, you get those extra tenants that kind of just pop up. It's one person that fills out the lease.
Yeah.
And now there's an extra person in there. So she said her tenant, her boyfriend moved in, and he's living with her now. And she told the tenant that her rent was going to go up by $50. Was that the right thing to do?
First of all, I mean, the right thing to do. I don't know what the agreement says. So the first thing we do, what we would like to do is look at the lease. What does the lease? What do the rules and regulations say? What does the lease say? How does the lease direct us? From a property manager's perspective, let's just say if this individual worked for me, I would say no. That's not what we're interested in doing. Number one, the first thing that we need to do from a liability standpoint is address the liability, which is the 800-pound gorilla in the room, the liability. What liability are we accruing for are occurring, not occurring, but what liability do we absorb by having this tenant, this illegal tenant in the unit? When I say illegal, a tenant that's not on the lease. A ton of liability. If this individual has a criminal background record, we're aware of their that they've been staying there, and they assault another tenant or a neighbor, and we can be held liable. That's number one. So we want to make sure that individual, two things happen, that they get on the lease and that we run a criminal background. If you do anything, just a simple criminal background. If you don't want to do a full application, that's fine, but you need to do no less than a criminal background. That's number one. Make sure we get them then, once they've been qualified, on the lease. Now they're severely and responsibly held for whatever terms that exist under that lease. As far as putting $50, $60 extra, no, no.
It's almost like you could lose that.
Yeah, it's a liability thing. Let's just say if you're a single person, you're moving in your girlfriend, that they have to be qualified. Your rent's not going to necessarily go up. People are saying, oh yeah, but there might be more wear and tear. There might be, more wear and tear on my unit. Well then, at the end of the day, these are things you need to think about before you rent and put it on the market. So you need to think about what, if your security deposits are too low. It's another reason why I don't really, subscribe to single family rentals, because, your deposit needs to be at least equal to, if not double, what you charge in rent. Because again, you only have one source of income coming in, which is that rental income. So, if you're renting out a house or a unit like this particular person that had the question, they need to be thinking about, their, what they charge for a security deposit. Got to think it through, think about what you're doing. And, so you're not having to charge an extra $50, for me, which really doesn't make sense. I'm already have thought that through. If you're a single individual, I'm still charging you, at Park Plaza, we're charging $799 in security deposits for efficiencies. When I got there, it was just $500. For me, I'm looking at, the cost of the amount of fixtures that, the upgrades that I've put in the units. So, I've obviously increased the security deposits because I've thought it through. We're doing more than just a basic rehab here. I'm putting in brand new fixtures and furnishings and, upgrading a lot of things within the unit. So, of course, the security deposit is going to go up because I'm putting in high-end fixtures and appliances. So, it's thought out. But if you want to charge, a little something because someone, a tenant add-on, that's fine. You call it a tenant add-on, we're going to charge you a $75 a one-time fee of maybe a couple of $100 to add a tenant on. That's fine, a one-time fee. I kind of agree with that, but again, that's all preference. It's, I think, as far as the security deposit is concerned, that needs to be well thought out. And then if you want to charge a fee for an additional tenant to be added to the lease, that's fine. But the 800-pound gorilla in the room is the liability. What is my liability for not having that person on the lease and that person living in my unit? That's what a property manager, or owner, or operator really needs to be thinking about at this particular time. Not, necessarily the looking at it from the perspective of a fee or a income generator. That should be second to the liability that one could possibly accrue.
Right. So definitely think more about the liability and not just that dollar amount increasing.
Exactly. Yep.
That's a great answer. I'm sure this is going to help a lot of people with rental properties. If they've got questions like this, how can they get in touch with you, Bryan? Like, what's the best way to get in touch with you to get questions answered?
We are everywhere. So bryanchavis.com, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can find me everywhere. Our videos, our training videos, every day we're doing videos like this on site, training, the sit downs with you. They can find me anywhere. You can, any social media platform, you can find me.
Excellent. Well, yeah, thank you so much for answering that question, Bryan, and definitely looking forward to spending some time with you each week, man. So thank you so much.
It's good to be here every week. We love it.